So Nikola Jokic is not human. He is absolutely not human. Like, I know I've been saying a lot of things. I've used the phrase not human quite a lot on this channel. But like, this is one where you're like, I don't understand how this is possible. And I mean that. Like, I don't understand how a person does this, because this was against the most informed team in the NBA, the Sacramento Kings. And if you guys agree this is crazy, subscribe. We are trying to hit 9675 by the end of the day. Right now, we are going for 10K by the end of the month. I did slow down a little bit just because, like, obviously I have another channel that takes priority, but we're trying to hit 10K by the end of January. We're going to be so close. If we do that, that would be incredible. But I'm looking through this. Who is the MVP right now, Shea or Jokic? This is going to be in the closest MVP race of all time. But the Thunder losing to a half a Mavs team last night was not a great look. Like, Spencer Dinwiddie was the best player on the floor. They lost to a team starting Kessler Edwards, who's averaging less than a point per game, which was not ideal. But it's funny, everyone's like, who's the MVP? Everything is like, Shea's been doing this for 3 seasons, and the same conversation pops up every time. Look, I think last year, neither of them deserved to win MVP. It was Luka Doncic's. How Luka didn't win MVP last year is crazy, but we've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the league in scoring. But like, Nikola Jokic is 3rd in the league in scoring. He's currently averaging a triple-double, 3rd in the league in scoring. It's like 2nd in the league in rebounding, 3rd in the league in assists, 2nd in the league in 3-point percentage amongst volume shooters, amongst qualified shooters, and is like shooting 60% from the field. Mental. Like, it's actually crazy what Jokic is doing. And people just want to ignore it. It's still Shai. He won 5 straight games versus top 5 contenders while putting up 31. Yeah, I mean, he literally lost to the half a Mavs team. They wanted to be Shai to be different. It's Jokic. Shai will win, but Jokic is one of the best offensive seasons of all time. In my opinion, the best offensive season outside of Steph Curry 2016. Should be Jokic. You're going to give it to Shai for 2 reasons. Voter fatigue. And if Jokic wins again, he's in the highest group of guys for all-time ranks. Jokic is already in that group of guys. Like, people are like, oh, you know what? This is like the Nick Wright argument. Oh, Jokic doesn't belong with these players. Why? Because he doesn't look like an NBA player. Because he's Serbian. He is a Serbian guy without abs. Jokic is one of the 15 greatest players of all time if he retires today. It would be a shock if Jokic doesn't end up in the top 10. People are like, oh, could Jokic be top 10? There's an argument that Jokic is top 10 right now. I'm sorry. There is a genuine argument Jokic was a greater player than Kobe Bryant if he retires today. There is an argument for that. I'm not saying I believe it, but I think there is an argument, because peak for peak, Jokic is one of the 5 greatest players of all time. Peak for peak. Peak for peak, greatest players: Jordan, LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, Nikola Jokic. And then at that 5th player, you probably go Wilt Chamberlain if you're going peak for peak. Like, peak for peak, Jokic is already in the 5 greatest players of all time. He just put up 35, 22, and 17 on the most informed team in the NBA. This has been done once ever, and it was by Wilt Chamberlain. And Wilt Chamberlain's stats don't even count, because you could have an entire record book for Wilt. Like, he is actually doing things. Remember the way Wilt would put up these numbers, and you're like, oh, some of these crazy things Wilt did. It's like, oh, no one's ever going to do this again. Jokic is actually doing it. He's actually doing it. And he's doing it on very few shots. He did on 19 shots. Jokic is doing this while not being a shoot-first player. He's doing this while within the offense. He's doing this without stat padding. And he's doing this while leading the Denver Nuggets. While he is on the floor for the Denver Nuggets, they are one of the 3 best teams in basketball this season. Like, they are a game and a half off the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. I want to see their record compared to Boston. For all the people saying, you know, Tatum, Mitchell deserve to be there. Mitchell's averaging 23 points per game. This isn't even Mitchell's best season. It's not even the best season Donovan Mitchell's had. Like, the Cavs are just stacked. But like 31-14, 28-16. They're what? Like, they're 2 games off the Celtics. They're 2 games off the Celtics and Nikola Jokic. And this is why I think it's, people don't, like, you're like, oh, Jokic needs to win more rings. Jokic has never played with an all-star. He has never played with another all-star. And the only time in his career that he has played with someone who was an all-star the previous year, so somebody that you could deem an all-star level player, was... I don't know. Paul Millsap was not a 2017 all-star, so he never has. He's never played with somebody who was an all-star right before they got there. So, like, for example, say the Golden State Warriors and they brought in Iguodala, who took a diminished role but was an all-star. He's never played one of those players. Jamal Murray has never made an all-star team. Probably will never make an all-star team. Michael Porter Jr. will probably never make an all-star team in the Western Conference. And these are the type of players he got to ring. He got Jamal Murray a max contract. We've seen Jamal Murray, how bad he is for Canada. We've seen how bad Jamal Murray is when this man is not on the floor. He got Jamal Murray a max. He's reviving Russell Westbrook's career. He is reviving Russell Westbrook's career. Like, he is the single, like we saw at the Olympics. You literally need him and a bunch of smart dudes. And I don't even need smart dudes. Guys who are able to follow instructions. Cut. If you can shoot the ball, play defense, and cut with Nikola Jokic, he will make you look like a superstar. Remember the way people were talking about what LeBron James and what the shots he was able to get for players, but like they had all this spotlight on him. Nikola Jokic is doing that without the damn spotlighting you because people don't care. The media does not care that Nikola Jokic is having what should be considered one of the greatest seasons of all time. At the same time, what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing is so good that it wouldn't be an absolute robbery if Jokic isn't winning MVP. But right now, if we take away narratives, if we take away voter fatigue, they should make an example of getting rid of voter fatigue, of like forgetting voter fatigue, or forgetting that, like, you know, we need to just give someone an MVP, because guys like LeBron, guys like Jordan should have won more MVPs. Like, let's correct the mistakes of the past and not just make it this is what happened. And again, people are like, he doesn't want to get 4, so because if he gets 4, he's not an all-time great man. Nikola Jokic, up to this point in his career, has done more than what LeBron did up to his 4th MVP. LeBron at that stage had 1 ring, 1 finals MVP, and had made another finals. Nikola Jokic has had a better career up to this point, or maybe not had a better career, but been better than LeBron was by the time he had won his final MVP. And I stand by that statement. Nikola Jokic, for me, at this point in time, is in the KD, Dr. J, Oscar Robertson, just on the edge of the top 10. But you could argue as a top 10 player. There is a near certainty that Nikola Jokic will end his career as a top 10 player. And the ring argument is dumb because situation matters so much for rings. I'm sorry. If you put Kobe Bryant or Shaq without separate, and you put, like, if you did not give Shaq Kobe or you did not give Kobe Shaq and you sent them to the damn Bobcats, where the best player Kobe played with in his entire career might have been Tyson Chandler. Kobe's not winning a ring. And heck, Tyson Chandler was an all-star. Jokic has never played one. If you put Shaquille O'Neal on a team where the best guard, you put him on the freaking Charlotte Hornets, where Baron Davis is the best ever guard he played with, who was, again, an all-star. Like, Shaq doesn't win any championships. Like, Shaq and Kobe combined only beat Portland in 7 games. Like, if you put one or the other there, neither of them are winning. Like, they played on the Lakers. They have great teams around. They have great players around them. Jokic has not had that. Jokic made Bruce Brown look like a $20 million a year guy. How bad he's been, so bad the Raptors basically want to cut him. He made KCP look like a $20 million a year guy. KCP has sucked in Orlando. He's forgot how to shoot. He made Jamal Murray look like a max contract guy. He made Michael Porter Jr. look like a max contract guy. Nikola Jokic, literally, if you are a role player and you are able to hit an open shot or cut and play defense, Nikola Jokic will make you look like a $20 million a year guy. And that's the problem as well in today's game. Every good role player that they get ends up leaving because Nikola Jokic makes them look way better than they are and a team are dumb enough to overpay them. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.